Many thanks for choosing us. Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwah, says a review of the free senior high school policy is underway. This exercise, he reveals, is geared at determining which of the cost components parents can be asked to pay. The Ministry of Finance, in a statement earlier this month, indicated that the policy will not be suspended despite seeking support from the IMF. It, however, notes that the IMF will be concerned about possible lack of finance and the ability of government to sustain its expenditure. Professor Opoku-Amankwah was speaking on food shortages in schools, touched on measures in place to deal with the matter, plus an update on the review of the free SHS policy. Listen.
Past, the arrangement, not in the past, but the arrangement is that the suppliers are supposed to supply directly to the schools, except that during this period where we have a challenge, that is why we've indicated that if you have maybe one supplier who supplies to 10 schools, and he was going to go to each of the schools, and it's a day each, we are going to have about 10 days for the person to finish. Okay. And we will still have the complaint. So why don't we do some zoning during this period so that the schools can come to the point to come and pick? But as we go forward, we'll revert to the situation where we'll get the suppliers to go directly to the schools.
I get your point. Now, there's a single point about, when the Ministry of Finance issued their frequently asked questions about the IMF program, they said free HSS will not be suspended, but it is being reviewed to make it better. Has this review ended?
Oh, the thing has just been, the suggestion has just come up. So how can the review end? I thought you were going to start to say whether the review has started.
No,
I think it's a bigger conversation. It's a bigger conversation, not only for GES, not only for the Ministry of Education, but for the entire country. And then what we will do is that for us on our part, we will start with the smaller ideas of looking at aspects of it. Today, for example, some of the discussions that I've had with my statistics team for them to do something for me is to do what we call unit cost analysis as far as educating a student is concerned. So we will do unit cost analysis, especially for the free SHS. So if we take Raymond as a student, starting from SHS 1 to SHS 3, we can do the analysis and then come up and say that, okay, to give Raymond quality education, it will cost this much. Within that cost, these are the items in the cost. Then we all put it out there and they'll say, oh, this item, I think we can make do of it. And it will not affect quality. This item, I think we can get parents to pay. This item, let's find some, let the regional, the district offices or regional offices take care of this, So when we have done that, and we've all added our
Professor Opoku-Amankwah is director of the GES. Let's get reactions to this development. We've been joined by President of the Imani Center for Policy and Education, Franklin Kojo. You were one of the think tanks that constantly called for a review to the free SHS. How does this announcement of a possible review come across to you?
Very much. I think it's a welcome idea. Don't forget, it's been on the table even before we decided to go to the IMF, and I think various leaders, religious as well as educational leaders, professionals have all spoken about the need for a review. So it is heartwarming to hear that it's on the table. I would think that the Director General obviously was quite clever in not giving figures. I would have wished that a review idea would have started much earlier than now, so that we can have some sort of idea as to what the figures would look like. But better late than never. And so the first action would be that this is a welcome idea.
Ms. Akujo, what should be the focus of this review, considering what we've seen with the free teachers?
Well, there have been quite a number of proposals, really. I mean, starting from the fact that even the whole idea of borders, some students benefiting from the boarding system and at the same time enjoying the whole, the boarding system free, just as boarded day students are going to also be catered for, was quite, not quite, it wasn't equal in terms of the beneficiary or the beneficiary system in that regard. So maybe we can start from that position that, look, those who really want to be boarders would have to pay. But I think another option would be, again, looking at the budget and then asking what percentage should be shouldered by parents. And of course, those who cannot afford entirely, then would have to adopt a very transparent scholarship system for them. And this can be done. I mean, I've heard a number of people suggest much earlier that, well, it's going to be difficult for the government to determine who can pay and who cannot pay. That's not true. I mean, there's a reason why you and myself are not on leave, right? On leave, the beneficiaries are well targeted through the means testing system. They're able to determine those who can afford or those who cannot afford. Or even as my friend Kofi suggested, those who are clearly not able to pay would be referred to a district desk where they can be validated to determine their inability or otherwise to pay. And then they can be supported. So we need to look at the quantum of money we've spent annually on the entire project and decide, after doing this hard work of determining those who can afford and those who cannot afford, then we can come out with a figure. Otherwise, if we decide that, those things are important so that it can be sustainable. I don't think anything that falls short of should be counted. Some proper means testing has to be done.
Franklin Kuja, I'm grateful for your time. He's the president of Imani Center for Policy and Education. Meanwhile, the chancellor of the Wisconsin University, Dr. Paul Finn, has called on the government to allow private institutions to participate in the education sector because government is not dependable.
Government should do it, then we are in trouble. Let us do. You have the ability, you have the talent. Why single-handedly we could build a university like this and have one in Kumasi? I mean, it's unbelievable. So please, the press, I beg you to encourage the government to allow individuals, giving them tax-free, and supporting them and making them to work. We will do it. But if the government is controlling everything and the government doesn't have the money, there will be always strike. There will all be confusion in the government. I don't care which government. It could be CPP, NDC, MPP, and any government that will come. They should concentrate more on private participation rather than government taking control on things. Even private participation rather than government participation. I see government, we should not depend too much on the government. If we depend on the government will fail you. Because they have so much programs that they can't. They should allow individuals to do it. America is great, Europe is great, because individuals are really running the country. It's not the government. Especially, for example, education. Ghana government is spending over 75% of their income on education alone. Why? Why don't you allow private people run education? Let the private people run education. And it will be okay. Let the churches, a mission. In the past, the mission, the churches, the organization, individuals were running schools, and then all of a sudden the government took over. And it is creating problems. Private people, private education, there will be no strike. They will not really go on strike because they have not provided sugar and also tea. They will be very willing to work. And I still continue to encourage the government to sit down and think through seriously.
Let's stay with education a while longer because the DCE for Asikuma Odobing Brakwa Assembly has assured global partners that the implementation of the Giving for Change project that the district will put to good use every investment made into the multimedia group classroom project at Breman Jamra. This came up when the partners engaged him and the multimedia group on the progress of the project in the central region. There's more in the following report.
Asikuma Odobing Brakwa Assembly is one of the 2 beneficiary communities under the Classroom Project initiative by the Multimedia Group. It is a sub-project under the global initiative called Given for Change, spearheaded by the Star Ghana Foundation and the West Africa Civil Society Institute in Ghana. The objective is to promote social justice through voluntary giving and local resource mobilization at the community level. Multimedia's classroom project is aimed at rallying public support and provides safer learning environment for some 700 pupils in the central and northern regions. JoyNews senior editor Fifi Kumsen and the classroom project lead Emefa Etiamwa Eli led the team of Star Ghana's global partners to meet with the district chief executive of Asikuma Odobing Brakwa, Lawrence Editia Esiang. The two, together with the DCE, briefed the delegation on the status of the project and its benefit to the people of Breman Jamra.
We have steel benders who are offering to support. There's a value there. We have the Forestry Commission giving us wood, about 50,000 cedis worth of wood. We have electricians coming in, we have tilers coming in, we have so many resources from different individuals, different companies, just to support this whole project and enterprise.
The partners took turns to ask questions mostly about the significance of the project to the district and how the multimedia group is ensuring accountability to all donors and stakeholders. The DCE for the area assured the Star Ghana global partners that the district assembly will ensure that the investment is put to good use.
God richly bless you. I'm really grateful. But the assurance I'll give you, putting up the project is one thing, and utilizing it is also another thing. When the project is put to good use, I don't expect that the same thing comes to maintain it. It is my duty to maintain it. And that assurance I'm giving you, that whatever investment that is being made in the district, I am going to make sure, one, we put it to good use and then ensure a better maintenance culture to sustain the project.
On a side tour of the 7-space structure with the Education Directorate and the traditional leaders, the District Education Director, Emmanuel Panwon, told Multimedia the intervention by its audiences and donors to put up the school block will prevent further disasters in the community. He said the Education Directorate will give the necessary support to complete the project.
This is a very wonderful project that Multimedia and the Star Ghana have brought to Breman Jamra. And I must say that we are so excited because we have serious deficit in terms of classroom infrastructure. So by bringing this project to Breman Jamra, we will say that we thank you so much and God bless you for that initiative. It will help us have our children in a very good environment that is conducive for learning. Not long ago, some 5-6 years ago, there was a structure that broke down here and even killed some 6 people. So by bringing this edifice here, in fact, it is going to prevent disaster.
Jansihene of Breman Jamra committed to continue mobilizing communal labor to complete the project.
On behalf of the chiefs and people of Jamra, I promise to ensure that this project is completed. I want to assure the multimedia group and its audience that their investment will not go waste. Posterity will not forgive us if we fail as leaders to provide the needed support to complete the school block.
obeye mpanyimfo na me sure da bandama won fa nche na kwafo short today basa won fa nche mi won fa nche mpanyimfa wo kan ye hu nyina wo sande na ye adwum no nanbo nti ye nkapede obabadam so.
The Birman Jamra School Block is a 3-classroom unit with an ICT and library, a staff common room and a headmaster's office. It has been funded by the Cherished Audiences and Harbours Authority, the Planned City Extension Project, Tropical Cables and many more. The Star Ghana Foundation and the West Africa Civil Society Institute are lead agencies for the Ghana chapter of the Given for Change project, with funding from the Dutch Foreign Affairs Ministry.
You can also give for change and contribute to this project. Still on education, the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana says the quality and quantity of food served in the institutions have reduced due to the mega feeding grant members continue to receive in spite of the rise in cost of living. Since 2018, the colleges are paid 7 cedis daily for 3 square meals for each student. The students say they are appealing for an upward review to prevent any crisis at the various colleges. Nanaya Ojima has more.
President of the Ashanti, Bono and Ahafo regions of the Teacher Trainees Association, Dennis Kwabena Edu, is proposing the amount for feeding is increased to 15 cedis. He spoke at the 26th conference of the association.
Government's inability to release the feeding grant on time poses a lot of challenges on the colleges. Also, the amount allocated to feed a student in the college, which is 7 Ghana cedis, has not been increased since 2018. Each of these adults you see here, Nana Chairman, and our invited guests, are fed with 7 Ghana cedis for both breakfast, lunch, and supper, which is woefully inadequate. Also, Nana Chairman, we know very well that what 7 Ghana cedis could buy in 2018 cannot be bought or cannot buy the same thing today because of the economic hardships in the country, coupled with the high inflation and prices of goods, especially foodstuffs, rising each and every passing day. The quantity and quality of food being served in our various dining halls is also reducing each and every passing day. People who can read the writings on the wall, like myself, will not be wrong if we say that a time is coming when our principals and management will say they are not going to feed us anymore because the amount given them to feed us is so small.
The students want government to maintain trainee allowances despite difficulties in the payment. Mr. Adu believes many students are able to further their education due to the incentive.
We will plead with government to pay the allowance on time. We are in our 2nd semester and we haven't received not even 1 month from the government for this academic year, which we are in 2nd semester.
Meanwhile, former DCE of Seche Central, Kwadwo Banahini Bediako, wants the students to resort to the appropriate quarters for their grievances to be addressed.
So those basic allowances help most of you to also finish some of the things personally. I don't think it may delay because of challenges, but I think that once he's not cancelling it or abolishing it, let's have hope.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Away from education, doctors at India's first accredited cancer hospital, Apollo Proton Cancer Center, are set to collaborate with their Ghanaian counterparts on proton therapy. It's a radiation therapy used to destroy tumor cells but does not damage healthy tissues. The doctors are hoping the partnership will help to cut the cost of patients forced to travel to India for treatment. There's more in this report.
Apollo Proton Cancer Center is the first and only facility in South Asia and the Middle East, and India's first accredited cancer hospital. Some of the most common cases being treated at the center are pediatric cancers and tumors, particularly those found in the head and neck. The center applies proton therapy, which is a radiation therapy that uses tiny particles called protons used to destroy tumor cells, but do not damage healthy tissue. Speaking at a press briefing in Accra on Thursday, consultant at the Apollo Proton Cancer Center, Dr. Nagarjuna Burela, explained the aim of the hospital is to fight the widespread of cancer worldwide. He also expressed the center's readiness to cooperate with Ghanaian doctors to treat cancer cases in the country. He highlighted how complicated cases were treated with the utmost precision.
We also coordinating with the doctors how to give better care to the patients of Ghana, thus decreasing the late toxicities and thus decreasing all the complications of the late toxicities and improving the quality of life and also the survivorship. So this is important. So not only treating cancer is not the important thing, and how is the quality of life post-treatment, that is important.
Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Nsiasari, who was a guest speaker at the event, called on other medical centers in the country to take advantage and start this kind of treatment. He also appealed to the APCC to establish a facility in Ghana to prevent patients from traveling to India for cancer and tumor treatment.
Other new hospitals like Rage and others which are coming up, we want to take advantage and start this type of treatment in those places. And we can not start from the scratch. We will work together of where things are working, like Apollo. I've challenged them to come and set up here. Come here and join us. I'm a surgeon, general surgeon, and I'm sure any of the neurosurgeons and all this, when you work with them for about 2, 3, 4 patients, and I think they can do it.
One of their patients, Michael Asamoah, was diagnosed with a brain tumor that caused partial blindness. Michael traveled to Chennai, India, to receive treatment at the Apollo Proton Cancer Center. He shared his success story.
I was losing my vision. I didn't know the cause, so I went for treatment in our hospital, and then it was diagnosed I have a tumor in my brain. Mr. Ahmed was also with us, encouraging us. The doctors were also very good, right? From the security, doctors, everybody was working efficiently. They were encouraging us. Anything we needed, they provided us. So I'm very grateful.
For decades of existence, the only critical care nursing school in Ghana and West Africa lacks a functioning ventilator for training, which is affecting the students. JoyNews' Tasha Michelle was at the School of Perioperative and Critical Care Nursing at Kolibut Teaching Hospital and has filed this report.
Critical care plays a vital role in improving healthcare in any nation. The School of Perioperative and Critical Care is the only school in Ghana and West Africa that offers training in this regard. However, after years of existence, the school has not seen a significant improvement in its infrastructure. In an interview with JoyNews, the Student Representative Council President of the school, Baji Kobna Andrews, complained about the lack of a functioning ventilator in the school.
The most sudden thing is that this facility, as we are seeing, is the only training institution in Sahara Africa. We don't have any other place. We are not recognized. We don't have a broken vehicle, so that if any time we have a problem, we can rush the person to any place. We don't have anything. Our lab scale, we don't have a live ventilator. We don't have a ventilator that can support. We can learn on it. So we are doing buga work here. It is not helping us.
He expressed worry over the recognition given to critical care nurses in Ghana.
We are not much recognized as such. As vital as our role is, we are not recognized in that manner. Mostly, you go to the ward as a critical care nurse, you are the only person who is taking care of about 5-4 patients on ventilators, and they are on medication that are keeping them breathing. So medication that will keep them alive while we try to put them in order so that they can regain their consciousness and be able to take care of their own life. And in the ward, when you go to the ward, you are in charge of emergency medications. You are in charge of taking care of people who are only dying. Virtually, we do everything for the patients. Holistic care, when we say holistic care, we are delivering holistic care to patients in the intensive care unit.
A student of the school, Efwa Chumwa Danso, complained about the accommodation challenges encountered by them and called for assistance.
Only critical care and perioperative nursing school is here in Accra. There is no other critical care nursing school. So all other people from the northern region, from the southern region, from all other regions would have to travel all the way here. Imagine a whole lot of Ghanaians meeting in Accra, and we have only 2 hostels allocated to critical care and perioperative nurses. This year, I think my batch are about 190 plus, and not half of them were entitled to be in the hostel because the hostel cannot accommodate all of them. And currently, the hostels that we have, 2 people are supposed to share 1 room, and it's like a cubicle. When you enter, there is no other space for anything. So we are just appealing to the due people to come to our aid to get our accommodation sorted out.
Tasha Michelle's report for JoyNews.
To some security issues, police in the Ashanti region say they are following leads to help arrest killers of a student of Oyoko School of Dispensing Optics who was shot dead by unknown gunmen Tuesday night at Sofo Line in Kumasi. 23-year-old Kwabena Asumedu was shot multiple times through the driver's window of his unregistered Mercedes-Benz car. He was found at the crime scene moments after the attack by the Suntresu police at about 11:50 p.m. Though information on what led to the murder is scanty, police sources say the deceased was allegedly attacked moments after he dropped a friend at the scene. Ohiming Terrier of our security desk joins us with more. Ohiming, how was the 23-year-old murdered and why is information on the death scanty? We'll bring you that update from Ohiming Terrier on our security desk. But still to come in this bulletin is that time of the year again when we at JoyNews bring you all your housing needs at the most patronized one-stop shop, the Ecobank JoyNews Habitat Fair 2022. This year we say where you live matters, and so we tell you more about the first clinic which begins today at the Achimota Retail Center. Details and more coming up in business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The first mini clinic of this year's edition of the Ecobank JoyNews Habitat Fair is underway at the Achimota Retail Center. This is the 13th edition under the theme Where You Live Matters. It is designed to give various stakeholders the opportunity to explore the real estate market. Joy Business's James Ishen is live for us at the Achimota Retail Center. How is it going, James?
All right, Darryl, so this is the first clinic of the 2 clinics we'll be having this year. So far as the Ecobank JoyNews Habitat Fair is concerned, it's been powered by the Plant Cities Extension Project. So far we've seen a lot of patrons in the air with some of the stakeholders as well as that of the exhibitors here. But let's try to get let's engage reps from Ecobank Ghana to know how it's been going so far. Hello, Winston. Talk to me. How is it going so far?
We're just starting. As you can see, we just finished the setup. We've had people initially coming through. You can see our setup. We are ready. Anybody who is interested, come over. And this year, as I said in the morning, we have an enhanced package for our customers. Anything housing, from building, from taking a mortgage, from buying building materials on credit, from finishing the house on credit. We have our partners. For instance, we have our partners TCL here. You can actually pick an item, pick a TV, pick an AC, and then we'll spread it over 12 months for you.
What is the Ecobank bringing new this year, so far as the Habitat Fair is concerned?
Yes, so one of the innovations we are bringing this year is actually affording patrons the opportunity to pick up an item right on the spot we complete all the documentation. You can pick your item and go home. As in the TVs, the fridges, the washing machines, the air conditioners, everything. And all the other exhibitors here are our partners as well. So if you needed any item on credit, you can just walk to them. You pick the item on credit, we'll pay for you.
Right, so as I said earlier, this is your one-stop shop. So far as housing is concerned, if you need anything else, and this is where you need to be as we speak now. But let's get some other reactions from other stakeholders so far as this year's Ecobank JoyNews Habitat Fair is concerned. So we're currently here at the Plant City Extension Project, Cities and Habitat. I would want you to tell me this year, this is the 13th edition. What is the Plant Cities Extension Project bringing new this time?
Okay, so thank you so much. My name is Bertha, and this year what we are looking at is we are giving a waiver to all those who are going to register within the clinics and the main fair. Every year we review our prices. So this year the dollar is pegged at 8. So this year we are giving a waiver for the next 3 years to all those who are going to register. And then again this year we are looking at delivering 50 homes to those who have already paid their 20%.
Right. So we're starting in the morning. How is it going?
Great. So we are having a couple of them, and then they are expressing their interest.
So it's been interesting so far. It spans from the 22nd to the 24th. That is from today, Friday, all the way to Sunday. Patrons are still coming, and we're expecting more to come so far as this year's Habitat Fair is concerned. So over to you, Dario.
All right, James Ishen there for us at the Achimota Retail Center, reporting on the first mini clinic of the Ecobank JoyNews Habitat Fair. We'll bring you more on the marketplace. In other news, about 3 acres of palm plantation have been destroyed by some illegal miners at Amakum in the northeast district of the Ashanti region. Presently, the topsoil of the farmland has been removed in preparation of the land for mining. Now, farmers fear this may continue if urgent steps are not taken to halt the situation. Nanaya Ojima visited the affected farm and filed this report.
Few months ago, a community mining site was launched to offer opportunities for the youth in the area interested in small-scale mining. At least 5,000 people who mined indiscriminately without license were expected to be employed here. Nonetheless, some of the miners have refused to conform to the new order by turning to farmlands to cause distraction. The palm plantation at Amakum near Mankanso is about a mile wide. Nana Kweku Atakra, who started the plantation 5 years ago, has invested over 2.5 million cedis in the process of producing fruits.
More than 1 mile.
The farm stretches over a mile. At least 2.5 million was invested.
They almost say, this is about 3 acres.
They entered the farm without my consent and destroyed the palm trees. They must pay for every distraction.
With 2 excavators, the illegal miners have destroyed several palm trees as they make a path to the area designated for the mining. The mining process is still at the early stage, with the palm trees covering the 3 acres uprooted. The topsoil is also removed, some used to block the path of a stream which runs through the farm. Farmer Ibrahim Adam wants the distraction halted to check possible expansion to other parts of the farm.
We were about harvesting the palm before they came to destroy it. We pray they are stopped so the rest of the farm will be saved.
The police moved in to halt the destruction after farmers reported the harm being done to their lands.
And that's business. Thanks for watching. More coming up on the marketplace. Up next, sports.